Oh yeah.
What you do?
And good.
Good
Uh,
morning. Click the
Tuesday
button.
morning.
Tuesday.
morning. We're on the Chip Matthews program, and of course, I don't know the
morning.
whole thing, but
Yep.
this is the sound of Canton last night. We're on the Chip Matthews program, and of course,
I'll shut up. Yep.
They need to keep school open.
Ladies. It's the girls who are fighting. It's not the men.
Yes, I know you ain't record all the cars.
Goodness gracious.
You ain't record all the cars.
You already know. Now, 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Wait for
these people are talking about it in this video that is up on Facebook. I've shared it to my Chip Matthews page, and I'm going to send it to the Chip Matthews show page. But yes, another murder last night in Canton at the apartment complex.
The same one?
Yeah, and
The
I
same
got a phone call.
complex?
Yeah, and I had a phone call from Lawrence Blackman at night. I do know the name of the person and that was killed, but I have not.
Oh.
When you listen to the video,
Yeah.
it seems like the family has been notified, but I'm not
I
sure.
thought that was a video of the girls fighting again. I didn't realize
No,
that was a
that was the
video of
girls.
the murder.
That's the murder last night. The police on the scene
Uh-huh.
for another murder
Another
in
murder
Canton.
in Canton at
And,
the same complex as.
Yeah, and I understand the person was very young. I don't have an age, this, that, and the other, but more details on that will be coming out throughout the day. But and then at 9 o'clock this morning, I'm going to have Lawrence Blackman, the House of Representative from Canton, who has been in the foreground of what's going on and trying to help everybody on the subject matter. So
Right.
We're going to talk about it
Okay.
because this is something that has got to stop.
It does.
And
Jackson,
and I let you know.
Canton.
And after I got the information last night, I forwarded it to my alderman in Canton last night when I got it, and I'm waiting to see.
And we think that it's somebody under the age of 18.
Yeah.
That's not that makes it worse.
And it was 50 shots. There's 2 cars in the video that were shot up.
So it was an accidental shooting.
Yeah, accidental shooting of 50 shots.
Stray
No,
bullet from 50 shots.
No, I don't know that. I don't know.
Let's hope they weren't aiming for this child.
No, they were changed. It was a drive-by shooting at the apartment complex, and it's something that we've got to look into and solve. A problem that's got to end in Canton. Good morning, Anita Ford.
Anita's the first one every morning.
Well, I'm going to say that, and then I saw where Dawn McKenzie was doing something on Facebook earlier.
Was she?
Yeah, but we're not live at that point. But so I don't know. We're gonna have to.
Most people aren't even awake
to give
yet.
out rewards, but this is becoming,
The rot in Jackson is spreading.
It's yes.
And let's face it, children at that age think that they're 10 foot tall and bulletproof anyway. And so when you start putting these running wild on top of it, we've got to get control of the kids. And I posted on Nextdoor yesterday, and somebody asked me about what the parent police partnership looked like. And, I really don't know, but I'll tell you the first thing, we've got to get some resources to parents who are at least trying to control their children at home. Let's start there.
I mean, this is
where your kid's not behaving. We've got to reprogram these children.
And Debbie's asked me, where's that video? It has been shared on my
It's on your
Chip
Facebook.
Matthews page. And
7 minutes ago, he shared it.
And because I just got it. I would have shared it earlier, but it's on my page. And it's
sickening.
Yeah, we've got to do something. We
do.
And it's, in Canton, a lot of this information, and it's same in Jackson, you don't find out any information. This radio station with Clay Edwards and his show and Kim Wade, if we didn't
have an inside connection, you mean?
if we didn't have inside connections, we wouldn't
No,
know
the media
anything
doesn't talk
going on.
about it.
Media doesn't cover what they need to do.
Nope.
And look, and I know WLBT was going on the scene to go up there to it.
Right.
But, you know, you also have the thing today in court at 9:00 in Canton where the lawsuit has been filed to challenge the process in the Democratic primary.
Okay.
And so you have lawyers from both sides plus
Wow.
plus 2 other lawyers. But this is not a this is a 9:00. This is a
Show?
a lawyer thing. No, this is a lawyer thing.
Exactly. It's a lawyer thing.
No,
So
but
it's
I'm
a
saying
show.
what I'm saying they're meeting this morning to discuss
Hmm.
a trial that they're going to have,
Right.
you know?
Right.
And to all of you, and I mean, last night my page just blew up with people requesting to be a member,
Uh-huh.
and
A friend.
and I'm
Yep.
past 5,000 people right now. I'm at 5,000, so
Right.
you can follow me
Hmm.
and do that, and you can message me anytime.
Yeah.
And if any of you
I'm not
know
much into
anything
dating on Facebook, so I don't pay attention to my friend requests.
And if
No
any of you
offense.
know anything about any of the violence that's going on in Canton, well, please call in and let's talk. What's the number? 601.
601-879-0002.
Yeah. And let's talk on the air. We'll talk. Keep it clean, but we need to talk
Let us
about
know.
this because
Yep.
this is a issue that has got to be addressed. We don't have a choice. And as y'all are checking in online, y'all make sure you press all the like buttons and the love button. Good morning, LaDonna. And that helps me out with growing the program. And I'm trying to grow the program online and in person.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was about to show everybody how to tap.
Okay.
Do you see all my loves right there?
No, we
You see them
don't.
lighting them up?
No, we don't see it here.
Well, everybody else does. See,
Yeah.
look there. Somebody's hitting the like button while I'm doing the love.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Let's see what that does to boost a page.
And good morning, Johnny Martin, and of course, Debbie Williamson Bergansky.
Good morning, Debbie.
Okay, but I mean, murder in Canton once again.
Welcome to my life in Jackson.
You know, that's the way it is. And I mean, you have a report that homicides are down in Jackson right now. Well, it's early in the year.
Well, no, there's been there's been a little bit of work done, at least. Chief Wade's trying.
Oh yeah, he's trying.
So he's making some.
Good
In fact, I
morning,
saw-
Tim.
Yesterday they had a big meeting at the they're bringing all of the officers into the training facility, and they're having meetings that are I think I can't talk to details about what they were doing, but it looked like it was a
And I got Jolynn checking in. Oh
Cops.
yeah, it's gonna be another good day for everybody to get out and do things. But we're going to have to. And I look. Oath of Cain has invited me to a forum
oh my goodness.
where it's me and they're inviting Tim Taylor, my
Okay.
opponent, and Peoples, and we're going to have a forum. I don't know if it's going to be a public forum or just a radio forum or
Okay.
an online forum.
Tell
but
him we need to have one in Ward 7 too.
yeah, we can do that.
Tell
We can
him.
do that. I'm willing to do that. I'm not,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not afraid to answer any questions because somebody online said, Chip, what are you going to do about the flooding? Well, I'll take one of the 20 billion copies of the flood control plan for Canton that they have a new study. Every time somebody comes, we're going to do a study. We're going to do a study.
Why don't can we like team up? Because I'm already getting emails from one of my neighbors that she
Right.
sent to the current councilwoman
Yeah,
that didn't get any action about our ditch. So maybe
that's
we all
the way
need to
it
get.
works.
Can we share expenses like businesses do?
Yeah.
Share costs.
Yeah, but we need to get that. And then we also, Don McKenzie says, good morning this morning.
Good morning.
And but we got to get ahead of the problem. We've got to somehow solve it. And like everybody says, Chip, what is your plan for the murders in Canton? Well, first, zero tolerance,
Mm-hmm.
and get out there and find them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you know who they are,
Is this
You
the
got-
same complex as it
Same
was
ho-
last time?
same.
It sounds to me like we need a Canton PD parked in the parking lot overnight every night, right?
Well, yes, and nothing
Seems
against
to me the mayor could do that very easily.
nothing against Canton PD, but they only have so much resources.
Well, I realize
Okay.
that, so maybe the mayor
But-
could get his butt in gear and
Maybe
get
yeah.
him some resources to put
Well,
a car
yeah.
there.
Why not put Mayor Truly in the parking lot and let him go
Is
do
he a
it?
good shot? Yeah.
I don't know if he's a good shot,
Well,
but he's got a loud mouth. He does a lot of talking and no action.
well,
So,
yep.
But I mean, that's the situation. Canton is a small enough town to cover it, I believe. And instead of having
Canton is a small enough town to where you can put a cop in the parking lot. That is
Okay.
an easy, simple, common sense solution. The problem is that government has gotten too far away from common sense.
No, it's things like, for instance, in Canton,
or do they want it happening?
we have a COO.
Yeah,
Okay. We have a COO in Canton,
cheap.
a chief operating
That's
officer
supposed to be the mayor.
that is Jackie Amos
And
from
that-
Hines County,
yeah,
who on the election commission. Why?
exactly.
Why does the mayor have to have a mayor's assistant? All these that's at least 2 cops right there. That's
There you
2
go.
more cops I can put on the street.
Exactly.
It's going through and finding all the stuff that's wrong
Waste.
and getting it. And look, Don McKenzie chimed in, got to start killing the trees in the large drainage ditches. Yes. I mean, I'm going,
Killing the trees.
well, the problem is you have a ditch, and
I
in the
know.
middle of the ditch there's a tree. And if you cut the tree and drop it down, I can count the rings and tell you how many years this ditch has been flooding, and then look at the rings on the tree and go, oh, this tree's been here for 20 years. Guess what? Mayor Truly's been around for 20 years causing problems.
Has he been there for 20 years?
Well, he's been in Canton agitating since since
I gotcha.
1972.
Agitating, not as mayor.
Not as mayor.
Okay.
He did 8, 9, 10, 11. I think he's done 12 years as mayor.
Hmm.
He did 8 back to back.
Right.
The last 8 back to back.
Right.
And then he was gone for 4 years, and he was there 4 years earlier. And then if you go back, then he was also the alderman at large when we had that system.
I gotcha.
And then they changed.
Kind of like Benny Thompson in Hines County has had every job.
Right. And then they changed the system because he wanted to take care of the first African-American mayor. He wanted
Mhm.
Alice Scott to have Ward 7.
Mhm.
And then Ward 7, when it was he wanted it for her.
Right.
It turned out Andrew Grant won it. Not the person he wanted. Andrew Grant, of course, waiting to, he pled guilty for voter crimes. So he might not have won the first time. And then, of course,
You think?
he will be in the trial later in June, testifying
Right.
against Rudy Warnock,
Right.
who should have been making sure the ditches were cleaned out to begin with.
A long time ago.
I mean, it's all just crap. I mean, and it's happened to us because we gave up and we don't do anything. Johnny Martin, my wife said she used to swim in their yard on Union Street back in the 80s. Yes.
There you go.
It is the truth. I mean, it's
Watch the water.
It's been bad. Okay, we're going to take a break and we'll be back with more of the program here on WYAB. If you got something on your mind, you want to talk about it, give us a call. 601-879-0002. I'm Chip Matthews. She is Taylor Tarcott, and we are talking about it and what's going on and the election scene and how important it is for you to get out and vote. On June 3rd. Ballots are already out. I checked yesterday in Canton. You can go vote absentee
There you go.
right now.
95% of the population in Hines County and
well,
Madison County is
it's-
registered.
It's
So
supposed to be 8:00 this morning. You can go,
okay.
but they probably won't get
No
there today.
excuses. Everybody's registered.
Hopefully they
No excuses.
hopefully they get there by 8. But anyway, and y'all be careful. Be careful out there. But anyway, and
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
An American home just doesn't seem complete without that flag hanging from the pole on the porch. And where do you get that flag? In Jackson, it's at a complete flag source. I-55 North. You'll find U.S. and Mississippi flags in all sizes. And yes, that new Mississippi flag is available along with international flags and all state and territorial flags. They can build your flagpole and repair that ragged old flag. It's at CompleteFlags.com. That's CompleteFlags.com.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Are you craving a home-cooked meal without the hassle? Come over to McBee's Bar and Grill in Ridgeland for their Blue Plate lunch specials. Served up every weekday, at McBee's it's a different entree every day. Chicken spaghetti on Mondays, beef tip Tuesday, pork chop Wednesday, spaghetti Thursday, and catfish Fridays. And McBee's Blue Plate lunch comes with 2 classic southern sides and cornbread or a roll. McBee's specials are served every weekday from 11 to 2. McBee's, buzzing the res since 1982.
Bank Plus makes it easier to bank. With extended drive-through hours plus 24/7 online and mobile banking, we're here when you need us. Lost your debit card? Get a new one instantly at any Bank Plus location. No waiting for the mail. And interactive teller machines offer drive-up personal service 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturdays. Your bank, your plus. Learn more at bankplus.net. Member FDIC.
Dr. Mike Stonington here from Stonington Farm Grass-Fed Beef. We are grass-fed and grass-finished beef. No hormones, no antibiotics, no grain, no broad spraying of herbicides or pesticides. And never, I mean never, do we use mRNA vaccines. We are 100% local and 100% Mississippi. Our calves were born in Mississippi, raised on Stonington Farm, and processed in Mississippi. Contact us at StoningtonFarm.com. That's StoningtonFarm.com with 2 N's. We are the grass-fed difference.
Tri-County Tree Service, the Jackson Metro's premier company to handle all of your tree service needs. Russ Borland and his team specialize in large tree, low-impact removal. Tri-County Tree Service has the right equipment to safely handle the most technical trim jobs or tree removals. Storm damage can happen year-round, so let them clean it up and they'll deal with your insurance claim. Tri-County Tree Service, by phone at 601-TREE-GUY or online at tricotreeservice.com. That's tricotreeservice.com.
The Tri-County Academy Rebel success in the classroom and on the athletic stage begins with the Tri-County Academy Booster Club. Join the team and be a Rebel by getting involved and volunteering as a booster. Your involvement is the generator for fundraisers, facility upgrades, equipment, uniforms, and all other needs. Tri-County Athletics thrives in part because of our TCA boosters. Join today by calling the TCA main office at 601-879-8517 and help the Rebels continue the championship tradition.
Hey everybody, it's Johnny Two Gun Tactical. We're having Kim Wade Wednesdays at both locations. So you come in and mention Kim Wade on a Wednesday, you get half price range fees. Hey, if you're a member, we're going to give you an extra free target just for mentioning Kim Wade Show. Come on in and work on your shooting and exercise that 2A right that if we don't fight for it, we won't have it much longer. It's twoguntactical.com. That's the number 2guntactical.com.
Hey guys, this is Casey Ellis with Ellis Autoplex, located on Highway 471 in Brandon. Ellis Autoplex, known as Little Truck City, is your old school mom and pop style dealership that's family owned and operated. We specialize in 4-wheel drive trucks, but don't worry, we have cars and SUVs too. Looking to sell your vehicle? Bring it by Ellis Autoplex, where we pay fair market value and we cut you a check on the spot. Need your vehicle service or repair? We can handle that too. Shop us online or set your appointment at ellisautoplex.com. That's ellisautoplex.com.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
I am your host, Chip Matthews, here on the Chip Matthews program here on WYAB. People are chiming in. Okay, I'll put you out there. There you go. But we've got to address the problem. The problem in Canton is we played a little excerpt of the mother screaming and crying, or someone screaming and crying at the Canton apartment complex, where another murder drive-by was taken
of a child.
And then we believe it to be a child. I will have Lawrence Blackman on with me at 9:00 this morning, and we're going to talk about it because he sent the information to me last night, and he also said it was another 50 shots, and a car got shot up, a truck got shot up, a building got shot up don't know all the details, but I got that shortly after it occurred, and of course I was dead asleep.
It's amazing what a criminal will do when they know they can get away with it.
I was dead asleep when he called, and I was just like, wow, this cannot be going on again. Good morning, Joe Lynn.
So he was up in the middle of the night when it.
Well, it wasn't the middle. No, it wasn't the middle of the night. Yesterday, I had a whole bunch of stuff planned to do, and I went to sleep. Yesterday, after we got off the air, I went to sleep in the daytime, and then got 4 or 5 hours sleep in the daytime.
Wow!
And then went, holy cow!
Yesterday was your first off day of the.
For everything. Well, second time. I'd been off on Monday at 9, so I was like, this is pretty cool.
Well, no. I meant with the restaurant.
The
not
restaurant,
opening on having a day to sleep since you.
And there was, and it was
burned the candle at
and
both
it was
ends.
going to rain, so there was no reason for me because I was going to start walking the streets and tapping on doors and talking to people.
Were you? Okay.
And I slept.
You slept.
And then when I woke up, I went, holy cow! I'm not going to bother these people at 7 o'clock at night when they get in, because that's just you don't want to see a politician at 7 o'clock at night.
Nope.
So I get home about 8 o'clock. And I went to sleep again.
Oh goodness!
At 8 o'clock last night. That's that is
well,
very.
What time did the shooting happen last night?
In the video, they're talking about right after dark, 8ish, 7:30, 8ish. I had the. I got the.
So it wasn't even in the middle of the night.
No, it was.
I guess I don't know why I would think it'd be in the middle of the night. If it's a child that's been.
It was before 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Last night.
Before kids are in bed.
I mean. We got to do something. We got to do something.
Yep.
And not doing something is not an issue.
No, because you see what they do and they know that they can get away with it. It's just it's just like the Democrats and any kind of cheating. If you let them get away with it, why would they stop? If they know they can get away with it, why?
Now I'm going to say this, and you may not agree with this. Bullets are not Democrat or Republican.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
But,
and in most cases, these people behind these guns
they're criminals.
Don't even vote.
No, they're criminals.
But they are the person shooting is somebody's child, and the person receiving the bullets is somebody's child.
Are we going to find out that the shooter is a child as well?
I don't know, but we're going to. We've got so many unsolved crimes in Canton. So many, not crimes, murders.
Yep.
In Canton that are unsolved.
Yeah.
And
but I disagree. I think the bullets have a lot to do with Democratic policies.
And I expect
it's the policies the Democrats put.
These are the policies of Mayor Truly, and he needs to come out and say something about the violence. He has always had something to say about what was going on.
The Democrats have always pushed violence on the street to drive us into our houses and keep us scared. That's one of the other points of them letting them do it to us.
Mayor Truly has been the rising voice in the community for years. He asked everybody. He says, I was a doctor when they all were born. I was there and I delivered these babies. And I'm going, you delivered these babies. Let's say you did. And that's good.
Yeah, I'd love you for that. But
then you were their spiritual leader for the last 20 years, telling everybody we got to do this. And you have led us to the most corrupt town. We're as corrupt as you always wanted us to be.
Yep.
And you have abandoned the people. You've got the haves and the have-nots. He was the voice for the have-nots, and he has abandoned them.
Yep.
He has abandoned them. He's not out speaking. He's not on the news. And y'all, if I were to kick a rock in Jackson, he would have in Canton, he would have a news conference in the past. And he was the smartest person in the world and said, that one truck chip moved. It would have made the whole town flood. That's what he would, that's the way he is. And he's usually right there involved in everything going on. But this time, oh no.
He's gone.
And then when he testified in the election trial a few weeks ago, his sworn testimony is he didn't know that these people at these apartment complexes needed to be added to the voter rolls for the election. I mean, you created this mess, Dr. Truly. Get off your butt and do something. But, I mean, your administration's almost over, and you cheated to get in there for the last 4 years. Yes, you did. You went to court. And yes, they ruled that you had 0 legal votes.
And he's still in office.
And he's still in office.
Because they can do whatever they want.
They do whatever they want.
Once that election certifies, you're done.
And these are the crooks. And these are the crooked politicians.
Yep.
Not all politicians are crooked. You've got a set of people that put a bad light on the Democratic Party because they are radical crazy. And then you have good and I'm saying this. There are good Democrats in the world.
There are.
There are good Democrats in the world.
We have several right here in the great city of Jackson.
So I'm just bringing it up. I mean, and that's when you're being short-sighted. I mean, we all, in the fight between Republican and Democrats, it is required for me to say that Democrats are bad.
Well, I think it has a lot to do with the liberal Democrats. The conservative Democrats are the ones that are trying to do things for the people.
There are great,
and we do have conservative Democrats.
There are a lot of great Democrats. I'm just going to say that.
There are.
Especially, and so when you look at local politics, Democrat and Republican doesn't matter anymore. It's nonpartisan. Your city runs nonpartisan.
It doesn't.
Okay.
Not at a city level. It doesn't. But
so
when we let
it doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. Those bullets are flying.
Yeah,
they got to be stopped for everybody.
To the people.
Everybody.
I agree.
People have to stop dying in a small town like Canton. I mean, they need to stop dying everywhere.
Yeah, but it's the Democratic leadership that's responsible for that.
Yes, it is.
It's leadership. It's Democratic leadership.
Mayor, truly get off your butt and start addressing this as far as speaking.
Yeah.
Let us know
no
what's
reason
going
there
on.
Can't be a police car in the parking lot this afternoon.
Yes.
Of that complex.
Well,
I mean, seriously, there should be a police car in that complex.
And then the other side of that, a lot of the citizens are afraid of the police department in Canton right now.
Well, this is a good opportunity.
We've created
to
that
build
problem,
some trust.
but with new leadership coming, and hopefully it will be me, because me in the chair, I'm not kidding to anybody in the situation.
Yep.
So if I'm not kin to them, there's a good chance that I'm going to fix something.
Yep.
Because I'll be held to a higher standard than anybody else you've had in office. Because if I don't do anything, they'll run me out on a rail.
Yeah,
That's the truth. That's the truth. Okay, we're going to take another break, and we'll be back right here on the Chip Matthews program with Taylor Turcotte, running for Ward 7 councilman in Jackson, Mississippi. And, of course, I am running for mayor of Canton. And I'll be right back after these important messages. Doesn't that sound, that makes it sound official.
It does.
Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
Yes, I am your host, Chip Matthews, here on the Chip Matthews program here on WWYAB. Yes.
Not how Kim says it.
You know, why? Kim, Radio Strongman, Kim Wade.
Yep.
Every afternoon at 4.
Yep.
Future mayor of Jackson.
Yep.
You know, people don't understand. He has been telling you what's going on with that city for so long.
He's been trying to solve the problems for a very long time.
And y'all, you got to get out and support Kim. Y'all need to call
Y'all
into
got
this
to get out
program.
and vote. We need, I
Vote.
mean, really, we want it, like we were talking about the voting age population numbers. Everybody go vote. Everybody's registered.
Yeah.
Everybody's registered. I guarantee you're registered somewhere. Go
And
vote. Don't vote more than once.
Good
but
morning, Lloyd. But then, you know, and we were talking about the 101% of people that are registered in Madison County.
Yep.
101%.
I'm shocked.
Y'all. That's more than everybody. How do you like that? It's more than
That means
everybody.
somebody
We have
needs
101% registered in Madison County.
Yep. Somebody needs to.
And we can't vote to get anything right.
And Hines County's off the list. Hines County was in the red on that voter roll count forever and ever and ever. And it's actually in the blue now. It's at like 95. So Madison's the one that's gone sideways now.
We're Madison County.
Following. Yeah,
Say
Madison
county.
County, excuse me.
101%. And the funny thing about it, still only 20% vote.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying no excuses.
So
no excuses. Go vote. Just
So-
go vote.
So if we could get the other 81% to go vote,
Yeah.
then the graveyards
Imagine what would
all be
happen.
getting their vote in. Good morning,
Well,
Roderick.
Maybe
Cheeks.
we could beat those that are offset those that are voting for the graveyard from the graveyard. As I have always said, they can't cheat if it's not close. We need a landslide in Jackson. And considering you've got a Democrat, John Horn, and then you've got 3 independents.
And John Horn is just more of the same.
John Horn is Benny Thompson all over again.
Yeah.
All that you're doing, Chokwe and Benny Thompson went off rails back during the water crisis.
Yeah.
So Benny's attitude was anybody but Chokwe in this mayoral election. And Horn is, as far as I can tell, his candidate.
Well, he's been in office 32 years.
Yeah,
Well,
he's been a
32 years.
senator for all those years. I
Yeah.
mean, nothing is. You were giving control right back to Benny Thompson, and the fact that people don't realize that
And y'all,
I mean,
and Benny Thompson's district.
Benny Thompson is responsible for the water treatment plant being such a train wreck because 6 months before he went into, or 3 months after he went to the
Spit it
U.S.
out.
House of Representatives is when the water treatment plant opened. So he pretty much had his hands all in that thing. And on top of that, 3 months after that, Hines County Jail was built. All Hines County Jail and the water treatment was both done while Benny Thompson was a supervisor in Hines County.
Okay. And the
And
next,
they're
the-
garbage.
But y'all remember, Benny Thompson represents half the landmass of the state.
Yeah, and
He's
if you
from
throw
Memphis.
in the capital city, then that's everything. Michael Guest has got a little sliver of the north side of Jackson, but
I mean, if you look at it, and let's not get off on Michael Guest for a second, but let's go. Benny Thompson's district
Well,
starts at the state line at Tennessee,
right
in Memphis, right there in Memphis,
right.
comes down I-55,
right,
and goes all the way down to Louisiana.
Yeah.
And he has everything west of I-55.
Yep. And the majority of Jackson.
And plus,
what I meant to say, Michael Guest doesn't have enough of it for you to blame any problems on him.
well, the only problem I have is his voting record.
Well, but
I mean, we'll
any
get into that.
We can't
I mean-
blame him for problems in Jackson. Is what I meant. We can't. Michael Guest. We can't.
Okay, I will
The-
agree with that. And then you, the rest of Benny's district, just to help y'all out, includes Holmes County, Atala County, Leake County, parts of
Rod-
Madison County.
Ride south on the interstate
Montgomery
and look
County.
to your right, and that's Benny Thompson, aside from South Haven and Horn Lake up north.
Yeah, I mean, y'all, this, it's, and look,
And he has
when
been a government employee since 1969.
and when you hear the news in Benny's district,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we had murders in Natchez this week.
Yep.
Benny's district. We had
Yep.
murders in Yazoo City, Benny's district.
Yep.
Indianola, Benny's district.
Yep.
There were some small towns with some
Greenville
murders.
is known
Greenville, Greenwood.
for horrible.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Y'all, we have got to put better people in the office everywhere in order to stop some of the murders. Y'all, we're only talking about the murders. I'd hate to know what the rape numbers are. I would hate to hear that number. And then there's also all the additional crimes that we should be worried about. And it's like, for instance, reading in the newspaper yesterday, what
How
did we
much
have?
of human
7
trafficking comes through
No,
Benny
no
Thompson's
kidding.
district.
And then you had 7 people arrested at one place in Ridgeland for stealing cars.
Yep.
Yesterday, they went to court.
Yeah.
I mean, come
His
on.
rot spreads.
The rot is everywhere.
And 5 years from now, y'all are going to give him another 4 counties when he drops another 25, 60,000 people.
Good morning, Timothy
Watch.
Jenkins. How do we? He was a former.
Watch.
He's a part of this program, Timothy Jenkins.
I know.
When he comes to work,
Yeah.
but the big
Sorry.
thing he needs to remember.
I've taken his spot.
Yes, but he knows about the voter rolls and this, that, and the other. He was a former election commissioner. He's who I rely on for this information. And he just says a lot of this stuff is just people not updating properly and keeping up with it and cross-referencing. And this,
Well, it is. That's what it is that people don't update their voter rolls or people don't change their voter, but it's not a voter's fault. And the problem is that they want to keep those on the books so that they can use those votes when they need them at the end of the day.
but I think he said something
cheat.
about, let's say
In
when you
Hinds
go to
County, at least, I know that's how they run it.
and so, for instance, you wind up with a person who is registered to vote in 3 different wards,
Right.
but by accident because they moved from ward to ward.
Right. So
And
that's
they-
what I'm
but-
saying. Just
but
go
they-
vote. As
they're-
long as you don't.
They registered coming out of high school, then they wait
Right.
4 or 5 years, and they come
Right.
back and register again in
Right.
their new house because they hadn't been
Right.
voted, and that's because they don't vote on a regular basis.
Well, we need to start voting
I
on
mean-
every year. People need to prepare for an election, but everybody's registered. Voter fraud is when one person commits voter fraud against. So as long as you only vote once, just
Yeah.
go find the last place you voted and go vote.
Right. Well,
You're-
you
you're
got
right
to
on the
you got to
ball.
vote where you live, or your vote will get thrown out,
Well, I'm telling people who may not know.
and that's part of what's going
since
on.
I'm telling everyone that they are all registered because that 97%.
Yeah, 97%.
Everybody's registered.
Yeah.
Odds are that you're registered. So go.
But you got to go vote.
Actually, you can just look up your voter registration
Oh,
on Secretary of State's.
yeah, you
and
can
it'll tell
move-
you where you are.
You can actually register online.
Well, but
I mean, there's
but
lots you can
can't-
do.
You can't register.
Not now for this election.
Right.
There's a
What I'm
closing
telling
period.
people is, if
But
you want to
could
vote in
register-
the municipal
you can
elections,
still register right now. You just
You
won't be
can.
eligible to vote
you
for this
can. But
election.
if you are, most people, considering 97% of the people are registered, register.
And
Go
absentee voting
figure out where you're
has
registered at. And
absentee voting has begun in Canton
Mhm.
and in Jackson and everywhere. The ballots are printed
Yep.
and they're out,
Yep.
regardless in Canton
Yep.
of the fact that they're in court again.
Yep, there's 120,000 people.
So
in
at
Jackson.
9:00 this morning in front of Judge Wield, we're not having a trial. We're having a scheduling on how to handle the issue of Mayor Truly letting us all down by not making sure that the areas in which he wanted annexed
Wow.
are added
and
to
how
the voter
long?
polls
They're already in court.
at 9:00.
I mean, my goodness.
yeah.
Every time I've been involved in one of these ballot box inspections like this, it's like snails moving.
This is Canton politics.
Or is it that it's the Democrats that are doing it
Well,
this time so they can move it as fast as they
Let's-
want?
Well, I mean,
They slow it down on us, and
when it's Democrat versus Democrat in Canton, last time we had 4 aldermen lost
Mhm.
in the primary.
Mhm.
We had another election before the general election last time
Yep.
to make sure those 4 aldermen were put back on the ballot, and those 4 aldermen won the second time.
right.
Okay,
Okay.
And this time some of them have been voted out again, but I don't hear anybody fighting the fight. And then there's still the question of who pays the bill, for these people.
Oh, yeah.
It's us.
Oh, I know.
It's us, the taxpayer.
Oh, I know.
And the only people benefiting from elections are the elected officials.
Exactly.
And then the city of Canton has been left behind on the streets,
As
in
you
the
can
murder
see
rate,
with your
and
own
everything.
eyes.
Oh, we don't have no money. Okay, you don't have any money. Well,
Why don't you have any money?
because we have a giant administration up there spending money on the people that we don't need when we need more policemen on the streets.
That doesn't mean that you don't have enough
Period.
money. That means
Yeah.
you're wasting your money.
Correct. And I don't know who cuts the grass. Nobody's cutting the grass in Canton. I talked to one guy who is supposed to be doing what I know what his job's supposed to be. He goes, I go do whatever they tell me to do every day. I just go do it. And he has been working for the city. The guy I'm speaking of has probably been there 20 or 30 years.
Wow.
And
he's just
and he is a top guy.
putting out fires.
He's a top guy, but that's his job. Let me carry the Band-Aid, put it over here. Let me carry the Band-Aid, put it over here. That government by Band-Aids has got to stop. We got to quit just putting a Band-Aid on it. And speaking of a Band-Aid on it, I'm not going to let you legislators off.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Morning,
Y'all
guys.
waiting on y'all's chance. Y'all listen to all this murder in Canton and this, that, and the other. But listen to me now. We don't have a budget for the state of Mississippi because y'all didn't get it done. You don't get anything done. Why don't y'all give us back the 90-day sessions that y'all did? Give us back all that money, and we can put that into PERS. We can do something else with that. We could take that 90 days of money and buy more cops through Benny Thompson's district. Delbert, since you want to make Delbert makes his district bigger every time he can, give us the money back. Delbert, why don't you give up your whole paycheck to us? Because, and then you can go back and represent an abortion clinic while we worry about the crime problem in Jackson. I mean, an abortion clinic, you'll still be funding. You'll still be funding killing either way you go. But anyway, I'm getting worked up. We'll be talking about all this at 9:00, and I will have House Representative Lawrence Blackman on the program with me at 9:00. Yep. And we're going to talk about the murders in Canton, and we're going to talk about what's been going on, because in some places he's getting a bad rap on the murders in Canton, on bringing light to it. And the state process is a little bit different to talk about it than the city process.
Yeah.
And when you from Canton, there's a certain way you think about certain things, and we're going to talk about all that.
Okay.
And we'll be back right after this on the Chip Matthews program with the one, the only Taylor Turcotte here on WYAB.
Sizes starting at 42 inches and 0% financing available. We have an Exmark Zero Turn for all size lawns. Frederick's Sales and Service in Brandon. Come by my store and see why Frederick's has been leading the way and serving you for 30 years since 1993.
Hi there, it's Lori from the mailroom. Of course you know we offer shipping with UPS, FedEx, DHL, and the Postal Service. But did you know about all the other services we offer? If you need to have signs made or business cards, brochures, or postcards, we can do that. If you need copies, laminating, or binding, we can do that too. Do you need a notary, need to send a fax, or get a passport photo? Of course we can do that. Come check us out. We are south of Germantown High School at 272 Calhoun Station Parkway, Suite C, mailroomgluckstadt.com.
Pet emergencies don't wait, so why should you? At Urge Vet Emergency Vets of Madison, we offer low wait times and cutting-edge technology to provide fast, expert care for all household pets. Our hours of operation are weeknights 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. and 24 hours on weekends and holidays. Our phone number is 601-790-1918. And follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Because when it comes to your pet's health, trust the team that's fast, reliable, and compassionate.
Craving something extraordinary in Jackson? Manship Restaurant is where your taste buds hit the jackpot. Join us for happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. where your wallet will thank you and your stomach will sing. Indulge in half-price wood-fired pizzas because why pay full price for half the fun? And for just $5, dive into our private barrel bourbon picks. That's right, luxury on a budget. Plus, beat the heat with our frozen drink specials, a tropical escape without the travel expenses. Make your way to the Manship where happy hour isn't just a time, it's an experience.
I'm hearing stories of people spending more than $1,000 on one pair of glasses around here, and I've seen some of the receipts. Hi, it's Bruce from iGear Optical, and that's not the case in my shop. As a matter of fact, I can't make them cost that much. Save your hard-earned money and come get top-quality products for less every day. Check out our reviews and then come see me. I'll custom fit your eyeglasses to you, your lifestyle, and your budget. iGear Optical, 2630 Highway 80 East in Pearl, and on the web at iGearOptical.com.
Why should you choose Cerami Air Conditioning and Heating for all service or installation? Well, they purchase all parts directly from the manufacturer. All of their factory-trained technicians have been hand-selected for skill, work ethic, and experience. There are never any hidden fees or charges. Cerami Air Conditioning and Heating is dedicated to your complete satisfaction, and they're family-owned and operated. For residential and commercial service or installation, contact Cerami Air Conditioning and Heating, 601-317-0729, or make an appointment through their Facebook page.
Why don't you mind your own business?
Mind my own business? What's that supposed to mean?
No, I was just thinking about all of the news of tax changes, insurance changes, regulations that are being passed down to business owners. I don't have the time to keep growing and to keep up with changing payroll regulations.
I know. Seems like all I do is handle employee-related problems.
You know, I hear People Lease can help.
How can they help?
People Lease can handle our payroll, taxes, employee benefits, and workers' compensation. They even offer an affordable and customizable 401k program and a 24/7 online human resources support center for all my HR needs.
Think of all the time we'll save letting People Lease handle our payroll and benefits administration. I'll be busy growing my business and letting People Lease take care of the rest.
Sounds like a good business plan with People Lease.
Let People Lease mind your business so you can mind your own business. Call now, 601-987-3025. That's 601-987-3025. Or visit freepayrollquotes.com for your free quote.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here's your host, Chip.
Hair.
And welcome back to the program for the final segment. And remember, coming up at 7 o'clock, the one, the only Clay Edwards Show, right here over most of this same radio station. And his show, just like our show, worldwide and in stereo. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We're worldwide in stereo and in
And
color.
in 4D.
And this
4K.
And this show, not 4K.
That's 4K right there.
I know, but we're high HD.
Oh.
We're HD. We're not.
The cameras are 4K.
And then, of course, we're also, to be just like everybody else back in the day when something new came out, we're also in lovely color and air conditioned. A restaurant, used to, back in the 50s, that was a big thing.
To be air conditioned.
We got a restaurant and we're air conditioned. Yes. Not that I was alive in the 50s. I didn't come around till 62. So,
yeah.
But when I came around, I made a big noise. But anyway.
And
okay, y'all. So in case you didn't know, checking in right here, right before the top of the hour, we had another murder in Canton last night, 50 shots fired.
Wow.
And at 9 o'clock, I'm going to have Lawrence Blackman on, who was giving you a bunch of that stuff. And Tim Cartwell says we're live on St. Charles Street in New Orleans.
Wow.
Tim, I need to talk to you. I need some help dressing up this site. Well, you can go down and hang out with Tim.
I haven't. Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't. I used to be down there all the time. I haven't had the time.
I
to go down
did
there.
too. Even was a part of a few bars on Bourbon Street.
Oh well, that was hitting a bar. That was a long time ago.
No, I'm
for
saying
me.
In ownership, not in not in just drinking. Although I would go and test the other people's products.
Look, I was so much of a local that we did Mardi Gras like 3 weeks early to avoid the. We had this Saturday that we went into the city to do our party, and like 3 weeks before Mardi Gras.
Oh yes. Oh, I remember the wonderful days. But anyway, we're going to have Lawrence Blackman on with us at 9 o'clock, and we're going to talk about the murder in Canton again last night, which that's I don't know what, I can't call that an unsolved murder because I don't know what the details are yet.
I'm sure
but
he'll
we'll
be able
find
to
out.
give some details.
But it sounds like more retaliation murders that are taking place, and we need to get a grip on it.
If that's the case, well, I'm not going to go into that at
it's
this
just-
point. If that's the case, we've got a lot of young gangs that I saw video. There was somebody going around making videos of these kids out in the country in gangs that were talking about we have to retaliate. Every time they hit us, it doesn't matter.
Right.
We have to go back and hit them again.
And that's what they do.
We've got to get out of
And
that
that's- once-
mentality.
And if you're 14, you steal a car and you go do
Yep,
it.
yep.
So parents, know where your kids are.
Parents, know where your kids are.
And let's make it safe for
And I'm
everybody
thinking there might be
eventually. I
something
mean,
else.
that's good. Good morning, Marilyn. Good morning, Alice Jean. Good morning, Timothy Jenkins is
Good morning,
watching.
Timothy Jenkins.
And Jimmy Rogers. This
Hug a
weekend,
tree for me this morning.
y'all, this weekend
Timothy.
at the club, and we only got like 40 seconds, but I'm going to mention at Acme Pizza this weekend, Jamie Eisenhood on Friday.
Okay.
We have Buzz Pickens on Saturday. You got to check him out.
Yeah, and Kim Waits things this weekend too.
Yes, and we're going to talk about all that, and we'll make sure of all that. We'll be back
Mhm,
tomorrow
mhm.
morning, 6 a.m. I'll be back at 9 o'clock for my 9 o'clock program this morning, and we're going to talk about all this stuff. Say goodbye,
Goodbye. See y'all in the morning.
and I will see y'all later. Remember, get out and vote
Get out and vote.
because you have the election. You can go out and vote absentee
And
right
everybody-
now.
Yep, and everybody's registered. So get
That's
on
right.
out there.
Come on.
Y'all have a good day.
Right now.
Yep, and everybody's registered. So
That's
get on
right.
out there.
Come on.
Y'all have a good day.
This is Central Mississippi's Stimulating Talk.
1039 WYAB, Pocahontas, Jackson.
Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. President Trump has begun a 4-day trip to the Middle East with a stop in Riyadh today. Correspondent Weijia Jiang is there.
Saudi fighter